What up? How are we doing? Welcome guys to the Q&A video. My name is Yo Fadda. That is how you pronounce it. And on the topic of pronunciations, it is actually Ra's al Ghul, not Ra's al Ghul, as per DC official lore. But you will be interested to know that Ra's is actually closer to the correct pronunciation. I mean, Ra's is what it is as per DC official, but that's still wrong. It's just something I found amusing. Anyway, so this video is mainly designed for two reasons. Number one, a lot of newcomers to the FADDAVERSE recently. Welcome, welcome. Very great to have you. So I thought it'd be nice to sort of reintroduce them to the culture and how we do things around here, how things sort of work. And number two, just so that everybody, newcomer and OGs, are fully aware of things I worked on in the past, things I'm currently working on, and of course, the reason you're all here, things I'm working on for the future. Let's get right into it. Whee!
How strong are Kryptonians?
Getting right down to business, huh? Jeez, I don't know, man. You know what? Let's see. Ah, there we go. So, I don't know. Pretty strong, I guess.
Will the Batman mod be given more updates? Will be there more superheroes universe?
Well, I don't plan to do a major update anytime soon, but the general rule is, as long as I'm alive and not moved to Java or a later version of Minecraft, there will usually be updates. Like, I've been doing updates for Batman and Speed Force and stuff. Oh, damn it. Wither alert. Sorry, fellas. Just give me a second.
How do you get Superman's powers?
Spoilers!
What's your creative process when making a mod? What steps do you take?
So I always start with the first feature that excites me. For Batman, for example, it was the utility belt. For Speed Force, it was horizontal wall running. For Ghost Rider, it was the transformation conditions, which is really cool. Like how hostile mobs will force a transformation out of you and you'll sort of lose control and start beating them up. For Blue Beetle, it was Scarab integration. I love how the Scarab will take over and protect you, sometimes against your own interest. It'll sometimes protect you from your own dragons or something, from like ice and fire or whatever. And you have to like gain the Scarab's trust and make it trust other entities so it stops forcing your protection, essentially. For Iron Man, it was the holodesk, it was Jarvis, it was the general workshop mechanics and the progression of how you got the armors. And now for Superman, it's what I'm calling game feel. How smoothly you can transition from flight into combat or cycle between your powers. How does flight feel? Does it have weight? Do you feel powerful in a way that's dynamic, not just, press X to punch? So I'm working on like a million different things at the same time for Superman, which I've honestly never really done before, but it's really exciting, and I can't wait to show you all.
Do you think the Superman mod can be compatible with a space mod?
I gotta be honest with you, bud, I'm genuinely not sure. I mean, so far, all Superman concepts on which I'm currently working are strictly Earthbound, so we haven't even gotten there yet, but I'll keep you guys updated.
Will Superman combat fight ability similar as Man of Steel?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
Is superhero survival a dead series, and can we expect to see more bosses and vehicles in your mods?
No, it's not, and yes, you can.
Will you be adding more weapon in the Blue Beetle's arsenal? Because I feel like the number of weapons I can get when using the Scarab is underrated.
You're 100% correct. If you mean understated or like underutilized, then yeah, 100%. And yeah, if I make another Blue Beetle update, I'll definitely be changing some stuff. I'll probably overhaul the entire project. Like, it'll feel like a different mod. The thing to consider with Blue Beetle is I made it. It was my second mod ever, and I made it in like I think 2 or 3 weeks. And I didn't intend for it to be released. I made it for my little sister, who was 10 at the time, and she saw the Blue Beetle movie and she fell in love with it. And so that was sort of like a way to bond with her over our mutual love of Minecraft and superheroes and what have you, and I'm happy to report it worked. She's actually the one who textured the Scarab. That's why I would never change that texture unless like she wanted to redesign it. So yeah, I love the mod. I am under zero illusion that it doesn't need significant improvement, especially when compared to my latest stuff. So yeah, I'll if I make an update for that mod, you'll have a whole new experience with it.
What do you think will come next after Superman? Love your content.
Oh, you sweet talker, you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you here, but I have no idea. I can't even think past Superman right now. I will say X-Men lost 2 mod votes in a row, which is crazy to me. Like, I wasn't even gonna do like an individual X person. I was gonna have like a whole ensemble mod of like all the X-Men and all the different, you know, like a Fadda style X-Men mod. But no, that people just wanted Iron Man more at the time, and now people want Superman more. So I don't know, but maybe one day there's an X-Men by Yo Fadda in the future. Who knows?
For Superman by Yo Fadda, will you have multiple Kryptonites like white and gold to gain and lose powers?
Yes.
Or add the fortress where you gain your powers and get your suit?
Spoilers!
Will there be an option for blue-eye lasers like from the Supergirl CW show?
Better actually, because the color of the laser is decided by hex codes, which I've turned into number variables, keeping in mind that down the line of development I'll eventually make it a config option, so I could have it red, you could have it blue. You can actually look up the exact hex code the special effects team used on the Supergirl show, and then just make it that. I mean, if you have the numbers, you have the color. So yeah, we're delving very slightly into customization ever since I started working with Alien Evo. I think that's Steven. He had God damn it, I can visibly see fish all around me. Why are none of them taking the bait? Okay, you know what? There. That's what I thought.
I have quite a few questions actually, so this will be a bit. What was the toughest part about making each individual mod?
Oh, that one's easy. The toughest part is also the most rewarding part, which is constantly doing stuff in MCreator that everyone says is impossible to do in MCreator. That's like one of my favorite things, but it is the toughest, but it's a huge pain in my ass.
Where did you get your sounds from? And if you made them, how did you make them?
I make 100% of my music and 99% of my sounds in Logic Pro. So for context, I am a composer. Like when I'm not doing the Minecraft thing, I do music compositions and sound design and sound mixing and yada yada yada. And in terms of actually creating the sounds, it honestly depends on the project, my dude. So if I'm doing a completely original sound, I'll use synthesizers, I'll download random sounds that have the proper frequencies I'm looking for. Like for example, the sound for priming the flash ring in my Speed Force mod, that's like pitched up mechanical whirling plus a silencer.
What's your favorite part about us, your community?
I love that it's a bunch of people who love the same stuff and share it. If I'm being honest, it does kind of break my heart to see a lot of people recently have been coming in with like the usual Discord culture where it's like a hierarchy of moderators who believe they're better than you and stuff like that, which is really not the case here. So they usually end up going one of two routes, where they'll be super cautious out of fear of getting banned or like perceived as something bad, or they'll go the exact opposite route and they'll speak to me and the moderators disrespectfully, which both completely not needed. So I honestly hope that more interactions with the audience, sort of like this video, and when I start streaming again, I hope we'll calm a lot of people like that down and make them feel safe to be themselves without needing to like challenge any type of authority. Trust me, it's concerning how many times I've had to remind people that we're in a Discord for Minecraft mod about superheroes.
Do you do commissions?
No.
What other languages do you know, or is it just Java, and what other games do you play other than Minecraft?
Oh, I barely know Java as is. I basically just learn as I go. And no, I don't play any other games aside from Minecraft, but I'm hoping to change that soon. Hint, hint.
What does Fadda mean?
Fadda is not exactly a word in itself as much as it is a pronunciation of the word, so it's father in Pidgin English. So Yo Fadda would just mean your father. Similarly, Yo Moda would be your mother. Oh, speaking of which...
Will the bosses be able to do combos on you, or will they be like in the Batman mod where they kind of just work like a normal zombie?
Whoa, normal zombie? My friend, there's not a single boss in any of my mods that works like a normal zombie. Please, allow me to demonstrate. Ra's al Ghul has an entire monastery and will train you in his own custom-built 3-stage in-game tutorial. In combat, he can counter your attacks and counter your counters with both hands calmly behind his back. He'll throw down smoke bombs and disappear, and will only appear again if you manage to land a hit on him. He's got a Lazarus-powered healing factor so potent he literally bleeds green, and if even after all that you still manage to get him down to low health, he'll summon his League Assassins, who themselves are no slouches. League Assassins come with smoke bombs, ninja stars, and combos galore. They attack you in swarms and are much faster than your average bear or zombie. On to the Arkham inmates. Bane starts off stronger and faster than you, but if you get him down to low health, he'll activate his Venom formula, which makes him an unstoppable juggernaut you do not want to take on hand to hand. If you manage to defeat him anyway, he drops a vial of his Venom formula that you can install into your rebreather and use it yourself to experience his effects. Mr. Freeze comes with his own lab scattered across ice biomes to help him cure his wife. He's hostile to anyone who approaches him and will freeze you on sight. If you manage to defeat him, you have access to all his weapons and endless stolen tech to help you craft your own resources. Killer Croc spawns randomly in swamp biomes. He's extremely durable, his eyes glow underwater, and if you get too close, he will grab you and do that. Scarecrow will pull your subconscious into his fear dimension, and yes, I do mean subconscious because the mod keeps your physical form paralyzed in the overworld, where anything that hurts you on the outside will hurt you on the inside. Once gassed, your items are stripped away from you as you try to navigate endless hordes of fear demons, and your subconscious spawns gravestones around you that you must search for resources to help you craft a bat signal to defeat Scarecrow and beat the toxin. Finally, Joker comes with his own goons and a crowbar that can lodge into a player's noggin, giving them brain damage. Get too close, you risk getting gassed with Joker toxin, and of course, if you manage to defeat him, he'll make sure he gets the last laugh. All Arkham inmates are programmed to attack and raid villages as part of a random crime system you can disable in config. The only inmates who won't attack or raid villages are Mr. Freeze and Killer Croc because canonically speaking, they're not exactly villains, but really just two people who want to be left alone. I didn't answer the question. Yes, the bosses will be able to do combos and yeah.
In the Superman mod, will we be able to go to the sun and become stronger?
Yep.
Hulk mod when?
Nope.
What mods have you considered updating or making?
I have had sketches drawn for what I want to do for the Iron Man update since 2024. There's just always something I want to do more. That's okay. I've considered updating that one extensively. And for making, guys, let me do X-Men. Let me do it. X-Men for the next mod vote, yeah?
Will you update the Dark Knight Batmobile since you can see enough as a newborn baby when inside it?
Oh no. She's perfect as is. You just need more eyes.
Superman by Yo Fadda?
Yes.
What is a mechanic for the Superman mod that you're excited to show off or excited to make?
I'm excited to show them all off, and I'm excited to explore how to make the rest. I mean, honestly, most of the stuff that I've already put in there again falls under the umbrella of stuff people say is impossible in M Creator. So I'm really happy with that, and I'm proud of that. But if honestly, that's a cop out. So if you want like a specific feature, I'm super excited to show off. It's this one. Ooh, yeah, lot of things planned for this one.
When's Mind Vengers 2 gonna be released?
I don't know, Tax. I mean, give a brother a break. I mean, come on, look what I'm working on here.
Will there be pink kryptonite?
Maybe.
Will there
No, you know what? Actually, I have more to say on that topic. So, on pink kryptonite, I have genuinely given it some thought, alright? And If you know me, you know that I'm by no means against including the more ridiculous aspects of a character's mythology. I think that's part of their charm. But in terms of pink kryptonite, it's just one of those things that I would only ever tackle if, number one, it had like an actual reasonable gameplay purpose. Number two, if it did genuinely make people happy, like Bat Cow made people happy. And then the third criteria, which is the most important criteria, is if it doesn't end up just being like this sleazy thing that's just in bad taste and ends up offending all involved. Let's try to remember that the tagline for the entire Superman By Yo Fadda campaign from that very first announcement video is "Be kind." Two very simple words, but they do philosophize exactly how I'm handling this mod, both from gameplay perspective and from a larger symbolic perspective. I said it in that first video. I want this mod to be more than just fun to play. I want to genuinely represent what this symbol stands for. I want to take advantage of this global icon that we're tackling here, and I want to utilize the humanity of Clark Kent and the humanity of Superman as a symbol, and I want it to save actual lives. I want it to help actual people. That's why all the money in my Patreon is on hold until the release of the mod, at which point it's going to go to an actual charity. And that's why it would be really stupid of me to set all this up and get you guys on board and have us be a team toward this goal, and then include something in the actual mod that might hurt people. So this isn't strictly regarding pink kryptonite. Just apply this logic to really any question you have about any more content I might add, and you'll be good.
Will there be cape physics?
Yep.
AAHH. Oh please God help me. AAHH.
Huh? What? Oh shit. Sorry, my bad, brother. On my way. Sorry, got distracted. I'm sorry, big man. That's 100% on me. Someone brought up pink kryptonite and I went on a whole self-righteous rant. It won't happen again.
Hello, Fadda.
Hey, yo.
I wanted to ask, will we be having a Fortress of
Spoilers, dude.
Do you glorp?
Nope.
Have you glorped? Will you glorp?
Nah.
When will you glorp?
I'm not gonna glorp!
Will you post more after the mod is made, or are you going to hibernate for a bit?
Okay, I'm gonna say hibernate and then do the exact opposite. Deal?
How have you been doing IRL over these past couple months working on Superman?
I've been... That's a deep-ass question, my dude. I've been good. It's been really rewarding and very challenging, which is the makings of a great art project.
Is Eva and Translator bot dating?
There's talk around the office, so that's all I'll say.
Not trying to be rude, and I know you are very, very hard at work, but as a CW Flash fanatic, PLS add more to the Flash mod. It needs more love. We have only gotten the time freeze thing, which, don't get me wrong, it's peak, but...
Whoa. Only gotten the time freeze thing? Guys, read the changelogs. Yes, it's true. In a recent Speed Force update, I did completely overhaul flash time to be actual realistic slow motion. But also, in addition to catching arrows, speedsters can now hyperchuck them right back at their enemies, and we're talking all kinds of projectiles, even eggs. Not only can they throw projectiles, but speedsters can now fire ranged weapons faster than you can say hello. Remember how some features in the mod required you to tap a button really fast? Well, now in flash time, the speed at which you need to click is halved and the power you generate is doubled. So with wind arms, whether you're blowing someone away or you're actually slowing down your fall or you're trying to gain altitude, your velocity is doubled, and for your punches, your power is doubled. And the idea is that canonically, technically, when you're in flash time, you're moving way faster, so you don't need to put in as much effort because you're already moving pretty fast, so you don't need to tap as fast. You get it? The long-awaited health nerf is here. Speedsters don't heal nearly as fast as they used to. Still pretty fast, but it also drains hunger the more speed lightning bars you're using. So if you're really low on health, you're going to want to increase your speed a little, but watch your hunger, because if you fall too low on hunger, you won't be able to run afterwards. Speed Force storms can now be set to local in config. Just do /speedforce config and set the storm to local before launching the dark matter capsule, and you'll guarantee that you're the one who gets struck by the lightning and not your random friend who didn't do any of the effort or collect the nether star or the wither skulls or whatever. Guys, I know how much you wanted this feature, but the random lightning strikes were such a blast. I mean look at this.
Yeah. So we just
don't worry, I'll protect you.
No, there's no protection.
Ouch!
Steve!
I got struck!
Did you steal my
What?
Steve, no!
Stand still, you're dodging all my bullets. No,
This
that
is
one
the
hit.
best day of my life.
that never gets old. The spatiotemporal anomaly reactor now tells people to power it with redstone before using it, although I'll admit that one's more for me than for you. Universal Speed Force storms can now be cancelled, just in case it's conflicting with another mod, so that you don't need to get stuck in a storm forever. Weapon stealing no longer duplicates said weapon, and the time-space GPS now works in multiplayer. Just a flash time thing. Guys, I did so much. Ah, God, I didn't answer the question. Wait, what was it again? Will I add more to the Speed Force? Yes, I will add more to the Speed Force mod. Just let me, I swear there was more to your question.
PLS add CW flash suits and more bosses and Yo Fadda flair.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much like standard mod update stuff. I'm sure like when I do a Speed Force update eventually, like a proper big one, then I'll add stuff like that. I don't think you need to worry. Alright, what's next?
Also as a Smallville fantic soon to be meeting the cast.
What? That's crazy.
I will attack you Mr. Fadda if there is no Smallville stuff. Okay, love you Fadda, keep up the good work and thanks for all the kindness, support, love, and awesome mods you have brought us sincerely. Lucas aka Luca Foot in the Discord.
What? Thank you. You know what? Next question.
There's a Kryptonite bat pod in your Batman mod.
That's true. It's been there since the first update.
What kind of Kryptonite weapons or items should we expect? As well as how will they affect Kryptonians?
You should expect me to do the regular FADDA thing of integrating modded items into regular Minecraft mechanics. So for example, in Speed Force, when I recontextualized Skulk and Ender Dragon eggs of being made of dark matter so that you can extract the dark matter and create a Speed Force storm. Or more recently, if you've seen my Happy Holidays video, you'll see that Laser Vision can light candles, or if you're a patron of mine, you'll see that Laser Vision can also carve and light pumpkins. You could go up into the sky, use frost breath on the sky and make it snow. So you should expect that kind of philosophy when it comes to Kryptonite integration, especially since it is a mineral that's in the ground, and it would have adapted and sort of morphed the ground around it as is sort of the property of a certain Kryptonian mineral. So when you ask me what kind of weapons specifically, I would tell you, don't restrict yourself to just weapons. I think more what kind of tools, what kind of blocks, what kind of effects, what kind of overall integration. And in terms of how said integration would affect Kryptonians, well, I'd have to assume negatively.
Will we be able to access forms like Superman Prime 1 million? Also, will we have different forms of Kryptonian abilities like tactile telekinesis and electricity? Lastly, will we be able to solar flare? I
genuinely, honestly don't know about 1 million, and by that I don't mean I haven't decided, I just mean I know nothing about it, so like we can look into that. That's number one. Number two, tactile telekinesis already in the mod, and number three, in terms of solar flare, yes, of course. Listen, I can't like spend hours integrating random nonsense like heat vision being able to turn on candles and carve pumpkins and then not do solar flare. Like yeah, definitely solar flare.
Who is your favorite Superman?
I don't have a favorite. I know it's a cop-out. It's such a cop-out, but let me justify them all for you, okay? I love Reeves. I love Christopher Reeves. Thinking about what he did for people, like how much simpler the world was back then, that it literally allowed him to be Superman for an entire generation. Like he united the world in more than one way, and it has genuinely made me cry on occasion. That's number one. I'll always be a fierce defender of Brendan Routh. I think Superman Returns is a beautiful and honest shot at capturing the magic of the original, and I think it succeeds at having a sort of magic of its own. I love Cavill. I love him! Everything from the music to the visuals to the suit to Henry's portrayal. I don't agree with Zack Snyder's view of the point of Superman. Ironically, I think Snyder views Superman the way most of his villains do. But I cannot help but adore and respect Snyder's dedication to his vision. He has a real vision, and I'm a sucker for a consistent vision. Tyler Hoechlin has made me cry on multiple occasions, and I have even had a brief exchange with Superman and Lois composer Dan Romer, thanking and commending him for his work twice. Once after seeing the first episode, and once after seeing the last. He made me cry both times. Love Tyler's Superman. Finally, David Cornsweat's Superman is really David and James Gunn's Superman. Like, if you watch any of the interviews or behind the scenes stuff, you'll see that this interpretation is truly a vision shared by a group of people who love and understand the character. I think it's easy to say the Superman and Lois team walked so the DCU could run, quote unquote, but I think that's an oversimplification. The truth of the matter is, Superman and Lois was the first time in a long time we'd seen a truly authentic, vulnerable Superman, and James Gunn also had a solid idea of the kind of Superman he wanted to do if he had the chance, and we are just lucky enough to have gotten both.
One of the things I struggle with as a new mod maker is figuring out whether or not to code or model/design an element before adding it. How have you dealt with this? And or what would you recommend doing first?
Ooh, buddy, my best advice for you is don't have such a rigid structure. Take it feature by feature in order of what you're most excited to see. So if you're most excited to see how this thing will look or move or whatever, then yeah, sure, yeah, focus on modeling, animation. Don't think about anything else. Spend time on the modeling and animation and aesthetics of the thing. On the other hand, if you're most excited about how the thing will work, then yeah, by all means, start with procedures and code and functionality and just use placeholder stuff. Use regular Minecraft armor and regular Minecraft items as like placeholders just to test out your abilities. So just ask yourself, what am I most excited to see as soon as possible, and just start on that, because that's sort of how you utilize your passion in service of your art, essentially.
Will you ever be doing things like storylines for your mods?
I've never considered stories to be a very appealing concept, at least not linear stories in my mods. But what I love doing, and I'm very intentional about doing this, is including elements in the mods with which you can build and expand upon your own story. So in Batman, for example, you could just straight up join the League of Assassins if you wanted. Like, you don't have to become Batman. That's why the training is completely separate but compatible, right? So you could just raid the temple, grab a couple katanas, grab some shurikens, and if you're on a server, you and your buddies can start your own off-brand branch of the League of Assassins. You can go destabilize a couple colonies in the server. You can do whatever you want. Similarly, in Speed Force, people have been constantly telling me to nerf negative Speed Force users because they're just straight up stronger than Speed Force users. Yeah, they are. The only reason you'd want to be a Speed Force user is if you wanted to be the good guy, right? Or an even more interesting story would be trying to do good with the naturally destructive abilities of the negative Speed Force. So you can't just like do a tornado, for example. You're going to summon lightning everywhere if you're a negative speedster. So what would it be like if you were trying not to destroy things and you're trying not to hurt people, but your powers are naturally destructive and hurtful? I think that's a fantastic story, or a really interesting premise. So that's kind of how I try to handle stories when it comes to my mods. I don't try to tell you what any kind of official story is. I feel like much more talented people than I have been telling official stories over the course of decades. I feel like they got that covered. And you guys can tell any stories you want. All I'll do is I'll just give you the tools to do that.
Is the Superman mod gonna be realistically more powerful than the other mods you've made?
Oh yeah.
Would you ever create like a Spider-Man mod?
I said it before and I'll say it again, people. Superman By Yo Fadda will only ever happen if I could absolutely nail the web swinging, and not before. The standard to beat is Fisk's superhero. If I can't expand or innovate even slightly on the already amazing system he created, then I got no business putting my name on a Spider-Man mod. That said, I have experimented and I've cracked everything else a spider can. I know I can do it really well, and I know I can do it my way. But without web swinging, it just wouldn't be Superman By Yo Fadda.
How can I learn to make mods like you do?
You start with one goal. One goal. My goal originally was to put a Deadpool suit in the game. I had a server with some buddies and we just discovered the Epic Fight mod, and I thought to myself this would go crazy with a Deadpool suit. And I couldn't find a Deadpool suit for the life of me. I didn't want it to just be a skin, I wanted it to be like armor, like a suit, and I couldn't find a mod that added it. So I was like, yeah, whatever, how hard could it be? I just downloaded mCreator for that feature. And then that evolved into adding a few more features, and then a couple of meme features for me and my friends, and then eventually I just added Batman because I discovered, oh my god, I could if I wanted. And then that became Batman By Yo Fadda, and here we are today.
Will barrel roll be affected by your new flying animation?
Yep.
You work only on the new mods, or you try fix bugs from the other ones?
Bit of both.
How do you handle Superman being practically invincible? Or if that's too many spoilers, can you pick up and throw creatures or blocks? And if that's also a bad question, have you implemented block destruction to any abilities?
Yes I have.
Will there be multiple variants of Kryptonite?
Yep.
Will there be a Phantom Zone?
Spoilers!
Will you ever add magic stuff like Wanda/Scarlet Witch's Chaos Magic?
I've always said that if I ever tackle a magic mod, I'll make it just a general comics magic thing, where you have different types of magic, like the type of magic that's like Chaos Magic or John Constantine's magic or Doctor Strange's sort of more science-based magic, where it's like energies from different dimensions or whatever. I think that's awesome, but it has to have rules, so that when we break them, that actually means something. I don't want any of this Harry Potter magic stuff. So if I ever did that, that's how I tackle it.
Is this your favorite mod?
Yeah.
What are your plans for Red Hood? Love your mods and you're a great person.
Ah, you guys are fantastic. I'm sorry, I never know how to respond to these, but I will say thank you. I'll say I love my community and I love doing these mods. Now, in terms of Red Hood, no concrete plans, but I have had a folder labeled Arkham Knight in my modding folder since the Bat Family update.
Hi. Thank you for making your mods. Will there be a move in Superman mod where player can shoot a mini version of themselves? Also, will there be Doomsday?
Look, all I'll say is I put Batcow in an update, right? So, I don't know, never rule anything out.
How will the sun system work in your Superman world?
Brilliantly.
After Superman, will there be more streams, and what mod do you plan on doing next?
Yes, there will, and I have no idea. Alright, fellas, it is time for the final question. Here we go. 3, 2...
Do you glorp?
Oh, you little...